Good design often goes unnoticed. Sometimes a simple push and pull of a door may look straightforward from outside, but there are actually a lot of hidden principles and laws behind crafting such seamless experiences. In this video, I will explain 12 key UX laws and principles with real-life everyday examples. These principles and laws may sound complex and confusing at first, but don't worry, I'll explain everything in a simple, easy to understand way. Let's get right into it. Number 1, aesthetic usability effect. You have 2 glasses of lemonade, one served in a nice glass with slices of lemon and mint leaves, and the other one is just a lemonade in a plastic cup. Which one would you go for? Most people would pick the first option, even though the extra lemon and mint leaves don't add much to the overall taste of the drink. Then why would you pick the first one? Well, that's because it looks more attractive and refreshing, even though it's exactly the same lemonade. Things that look nice appeal more to the viewers. For example, there are plenty of music apps in the market, yet most people use Spotify because of its visually pleasing UI. Also, the little things like whenever you share a part of your song's lyrics to your Instagram story, Spotify automatically adjusts the color and the theme according to the album art in the minimal aesthetic design. Another great example is that of Apple. Their products follow a visual design consistency that enhances the product's appeal and the customer's loyalty. It's no surprise, it's the most popular brand in the world. Number 2, Doherty threshold. Everyone hates waiting, even if it's for a few milliseconds. Whether you're standing in a line or you're loading a web page, fast is fantastic. Keep the wait time as short as you can. If something needs loading time, make use of a progress bar or a preloaded skeleton to keep the user engaged. For example, when you open LinkedIn, you first see the skeleton page loading. Rather than showing a blank page, it shows a preview of what is going to come. This gives the user a visual cue that it will load soon. Similarly, whenever you click to watch a YouTube video, you get a small loading animation before the video is played. This is better than a blank screen. With the loading animation, the user understands that the video will start. Number 3, Fitts law. The bigger, the better. Bigger and nearer objects are easier to click and interact with. Make the vital UI components large enough for users to accurately select them and give ample spacing between them. Not only large, but also place the elements nearer in such a way that it's easier to interact with. For example, the most used apps in an iPhone or an Android phones are placed at the bottom of the screen because it's easily accessible by your hands. Number 4, goal gradient effect. Imagine you're writing an exam and it's your last one. After 3 hours, you'll be free of all the stress and the last minute preparations for a long time until the next exam, of course. What will you do? You'll finish writing the exam as fast as possible, right? The same thing happens in our everyday lives as well. The closer you are to completing a goal or a task, the faster you work towards reaching it. For example, take a look at the Amazon checkout page. At each step, the progress markers motivate you to complete to the next step. The closer you get to the finishing line, the more compelled you are to complete the transaction. Number 5, Hicks law. It's Sunday and you decide to Netflix and chill, but when you open Netflix, you're bombarded with thousands of movies and TV shows. It's so confusing and hard to pick one.
The more the merrier?
No. When people have too many choices, they often get confused and overwhelmed, which leads to a slower decision process. Always remember, less is more. Repeat with me, less is more. For example, take a look at the Google homepage in 1998 versus the latest one in 2024. Do you notice any change? The homepage in 1998 had so many links and buttons, making it very confusing and hard to navigate. Now take a look at the homepage in 2024. The difference is clear. The newer version is simple and minimal, very easy to use and navigate. Number 6, Jacob's law. If ain't broke, don't fix it. It's simple. People spend most of their time in other apps and websites, so they expect your apps and websites to work in a similar way. While it's good to be unique, but don't try to be too unique and break common patterns, or else people will get confused. For example, error messages are always indicated with a red color. Now, if that were to be blue all of a sudden, wouldn't you be confused? You will take an extra few seconds to analyze and digest the information, which is not desirable. Also, the navigation menu has a similar structure on all e-commerce websites. People are familiar and used to it, so if you try to do something new or different, they might get confused. So why fix something which is already solved? Number 7, law of similarity. Elements that are visually similar will be perceived as related. For example, take a look at the Add New Address page on Amazon. The rectangle boxes with borders are the input fields, and the rectangle boxes with solid colors are buttons. You can see how elements with a similar appearance are perceived as related. Number 8, Miller's law. Here's a quick challenge for you. Try to remember this number. Most of you will have a very pretty hard time. Now try to remember this number. chances are most of you will be able to memorize it easily. The difference is clear. The more elements people have to process, the easier for them is to make a mistake. Our memory and processing are limited, so don't overload people with too much stuff to process. Split tasks into logical, easy to process steps so that users are not overwhelmed. Take for example again, the checkout process on e-commerce sites like Amazon and Flipkart. Name, address, order overview, payment methods. Instead of filling all the details at once, the entire process is divided into multiple steps. Number 9, Zeigarnik effect. People remember unfinished tasks better than completed ones. Provide a clear indication of progress in order to motivate users to complete the task. For example, online learning platforms like Udemy always have a progress bar to show how far along you are in a course. This motivates the users to complete the course. Number 10, von Restorff effect, also known as the isolation effect. Just like a purple cow easily stands out in a herd, unique and different items stand out. They are likely to be remembered more than the others. For example, a lot of SaaS apps offer different plans and pricing options, but they always highlight the most popular plan, making it stand out from the rest. It's done to attract and grab your attention. Number 11, the law of pregnance. The human eye is lazy and doesn't like to complicate things, just like anyone else. It perceives complex shapes and images in the simplest possible form because it requires the least amount of brain cells. For example, the IKEA instruction manual have their wordless step-by-step illustration to simplify the assembly process. They cut down the information to the essentials, making it easier for the users to understand. And best of all, since there is no text, they don't even need to translate this into different languages because it's all visuals and visuals are same in every language. Number 12, Tesla's law, the law of conservation of complexity. This law states the fact that while some tasks may seem unnecessarily complex, this complexity is integral to the function of the system and can only be managed and not eliminated. For example, when you're booking a flight ticket online, you need to fill in a ton of details and information. Now, you cannot simplify this process because the information is essential for booking the ticket. But what you could do is to manage them. Maybe pre-fill some of the information based on some information that you might have entered in the past and so on, but you cannot eliminate because they are essential for the core functioning of the product. I hope these complex UX laws and principles now make sense to you, so that next time you like any website or app, just think of the UX principles and the laws behind that, make them so good. So if you're interested in becoming a UX designer in 2024, you can have a look at this video. And if you're looking for free AI tools, resources to design better and faster, don't forget to check out this video of mine. Until next time, this is Sapta. See you all in the next one.